All right. Hello, everyone. We are back for episode 3 of the Transylvania Chronicles. Uh, so, if you have not seen the other episodes so far, they are or will be up on YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts, all that kind of stuff. Uh, but we'll also give you a recap here in just a second. But this is your warning. This episode is probably going to be a little bit more horror than maybe our last couple, because there's going to be definitely some violence, some body horror, some potential for gore. Yeah. So if that's not your kind of thing, that's okay. We'll see you another time because we're also streaming a couple other games. This Sunday, I should be doing Eat the Reich for our Doctors Without Borders fundraiser. Um, Also, we're doing oh my god, what is the game? Brindlewood Bay with Keeper Star next week. So yeah, if this is not your speed, if vampires and violence and body horror are not your thing, that's okay. Come hang out while we kill. I guess not Nazis. Normally, Eat the Reich is Nazis, but we're killing Russians during the 50s. Communists, the bad ones. Or come watch grandmas be cozy and solve murder mysteries. Good times. Anyway, on that note, I do want to do a quick land acknowledgement. So I am broadcasting from the lands, the unceded traditional lands of the Neokazga, Kaskaskia, the Chehisakoan, and Kickapoo people. And as I said, these were unceded. These were stolen lands. Support land back, and definitely encourage people to go to native-land.ca to check out that and find out where they live and who lived there before them. And I have a couple of players. Valencia, do you want to start us off? You want to do their land acknowledgement?
Yeah. So I live in the stolen lands of the Multnomah, the Katlamet, and Clackamas bands of the Chinook tribes.
Thank you for sharing.
Support land back.
Yeah,
Always.
absolutely. And Alana?
And I would like to acknowledge where I work, live, and play is located in the Treaty 6 territory and within the Métis homelands and Métis Nation of Alberta Region 4. I acknowledge this land as the traditional unceded territories of the Nahi Métis Pe, Naitsopiastakawe, the Tsutina, the Ianakon Makochi, and Denisovan, Nakota Sioux, Anishinaabe, and the Niitsitapi.
Yeah. Fantastic. Thank you both for sharing. And I know it's hard sometimes to learn the new names, but proud of you for doing it. On that note, Alana, do you want to do the recap or do you want to make somebody else do it?
Yeah. Okay.
Valencia, do you want to do a recap?
I don't have notes, so brain.
I mean, if
brain.
you want to just kind of wing it, what you remember.
Okay, so what I remember is, let's see, we were told we had to go to a place, we found a place, huh?
The Tahuta Pass.
The Tahuta Pass. We found a town, futzed around the town, went over to this mountain that was very unpopulated, incredibly unpopulated. And we were meant to build there. There was a guy that was digging, and a couple of us went down to check it out. I stood back with Cassian and waited it out. When it took too long, we went down. The digger asked for help. 3 of us helped. Leather Boy did not help.
Wow. Not my monkeys, not my circus. Right?
Technically, you are part of the circus, so.
Okay, my circus, not my monkeys, though.
The thing is, if we hadn't dug, we would have been fried into sunlight. So we dug, we found a crypt, we went in, we surveyed the area. Unbeknownst to many of us, Antonio found some things. And then we waited it out. We went to sleep. We went to town. We needed some builders. I got some builders using my bard funness and singing and all that. So I got 10, which was a great number until Cassian decided to get 60 builders by just being the cutest little bimbo. And so from there, the builders went to survey the area as well to see what they needed. This weird angular looking person showed up in the night to check everything out while things were being built. And we don't trust them. Well, at least I don't.
Oh, as Ren said in the chat, Cassian offered shinies.
Oh, yes. Cassian offered shinies. And I'm
Because
the
they're a
only
crow.
one, apparently, that's up for actually giving these people things for their work. Because apparently I'm nice, even though I'm not supposed to be. I'm the
I mean, you
bitch
get
of the
stuff out of
crew.
it. Yeah, you get stuff out of it.
Yeah, I get stuff out of it.
Mhm. Several kinds of stuff.
A lot of stuff. So then the castle ends up getting built. The guy, I forgot to mention, there was a guy that was with the digger. I didn't know who he was until he came up, all royal and stuff, and apparently he's a prince. And we had to show him the castle.
So Radu, you saw in the town before you got.
Oh, right. We saw in the town. Okay.
Yeah. But Anatole, the person who was digging, did have a friend hiding in the shadows.
Okay.
Yeah, their La Sombra companion was literally hiding in the shadows.
Okay. Yeah. And so Antonio was handling a lot of the talking because I'm very uncouth as a bard. I mean, Antonio is also a bard, pero not as bardy as I am. He's more of a proper bard. Anyway, I'm an entertainer. Who are you entertaining? You haven't entertained anybody the whole time that we've been doing this, huh?
I'm very entertained. Audience of one.
I was gonna say he's himself. That's the only one that matters.
Okay. Anyway. So then Antonio let us in after the prince was gone that he found some things. The things were tablets. The tablets, he was able to decipher a lot of it. The tablets contained some weird scripture that mentioned what was the name? Kapala?
Kampala?
Kampala. Johnny Kapahala. And I was like, wait, I've heard that before. That's like the devil or God or something like that. And so knowing some things about it and with the deciphering, I put together that is not only coming, but is here now. And I, being the freedom-loving person that I am, decided to try to convince my fellow companions to get this demon power for ourselves so that we could all enjoy freedom, destroy the hierarchy system, and just do away with all of the oppression that keeps all the little ones like us down. Well, how we used to be until now.
Yeah. And I think that's where we said we left off was Let's go drink a demon's blood and become god.
Hell yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Except for Jason.
Let's do it.
That's how all party nights end.
Well, except for Jason. Jason is what do they call the don't go to war, the like moral objectionist?
Hey, I have no issues with the morals. I
Conscientious
just don't
observer.
trust the situation
Thank you.
entirety.
Thank you, Chad. Words are hard. Okay, I realize I'm the storyteller. I should know the words. It's
Words are hard no matter what. Like, English language is just hard in itself.
It's true. It's very true.
I always tell people English language is it just robs other languages and back alleys for the spare words in their pocket.
Yeah, we're
Teenagers
at
with
least
superhero powers decided
at least
to eat a
3
demon.
major languages in a trench coat with a few others, just for good measure.
Exactly.
Also, Valencia, I didn't mean to talk over you. I didn't catch what you said.
No, I was reading Ren's thing. Teenagers with superhero powers decided to eat a demon.
You know, I'd watch it.
Isn't
Yeah.
that
It-
just Jujutsu Kaisen?
I mean, that's like what's that movie with the teenagers with powers?
That does not narrow it down.
No,
Right?
that's like it's like found footagey
Oh,
Was that Chronicle?
Chronicle.
yeah.
Yeah, that meets Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't
Agreed.
normally like found footage stuff, but you know what? I'd watch it.
Hell yeah.
Fantastic. So it would have been, we'll say a month since our last session, since you decided to become gods. Most of you decided to become gods. What would each of our kindred be up to? Whoever has something in mind first. I know Jason has already mentioned something. Don't all speak at once, though.
I was gonna let someone else go first.
Yeah.
I always go first.
Chad, what
The
about
one
you?
I kept seeing.
Antonio would be in the town by the castle as much as possible, increasing good relations and favorable opinions of the new residents.
Okay. Tell me how you go about that.
A lot of talking, a lot of bought drinks and decent meals and good company.
Okay. All right. Going about the subtle way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know what? Go ahead and give me, I would say charisma and either persuasion or performance, whichever is better.
Persuasion or performance?
Mhm.
One moment.
Because you are a bard. I wouldn't normally let people use performance, but it's kind of your thing. I'll let you.
They're
Just
about
your singing
equal.
songs.
So it wouldn't matter either way.
Okay.
Just give me 1 second to make sure they're added properly.
Hopefully Demiplane decides to cooperate tonight.
It did when I tested it 5 minutes ago, but now that I need it,
Yeah.
it is being.
It's
Finicky.
camera shy.
Mhm. I just have to remember to refresh after every roll, just in case.
Good times.
So give me 1 moment. Performance and persuasion coming up in a minute.
Okay. Also, because I don't remember, does Antonio have anything under merits or flaws that would potentially be beneficial? Like in dealing with people, especially? Because, like, I'm looking at Demetrian right now, and they have stunning. So they get bonuses to a lot of their charisma rolls.
So I know I have a speciality in both performance and persuasion.
Okay.
Let me see if I can bring either of those up, so I can double check that.
Yeah.
Because if so, then I might pick the other instead. I also have awe. Let me see. I have. Oh, so you said merits and flaws. One.
I mean, awe is also applicable, though. It would be kind of funny if our bards took like awe and then the other took daunt. So like one is amazing and hot, the other is just horrifying.
You had to catch me on the right day for each one.
Yeah.
Now I kind of want to make characters where like that, but also one is stunning, but the other one has the flaw where they're horrendous.
I mean,
But it's the horrendous one has awe, and the beautiful one has daunt.
of course.
Dauntingly beautiful.
Yeah, I was gonna say I just think of the Lord of the Rings, where it's like the Dark Queen speech.
Yeah.
It's horrifying, but also mommy.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And
It would not let me select it. I noticed I was not logged in after last session. I guess it auto logged me out. It's been so long.
Good
so
time.
give me one moment to look
Yeah,
at
no worries.
merits and flaws.
While you're doing that, though, Jason,
yes.
what have you been up to?
Just scoping out the town, see who the major players in these small towns are, and just kind of, like I said, just mapping out the towns nearby, see what I'm dealing with around here.
Absolutely. All right. So you would know there are 7 major towns in Transylvania. You would have the names of all of them. I'm not going to list them all right this second. But you would know that probably most important to you, I would imagine, would be Klausenberg, which the prince of Klausenberg is Mitru, who is of Clan Gangrel. And that is actually probably the closest town, other than the one where you met Radu.
You said what was his name?
The prince?
Yes, sir. Yes, sorry.
Mitru.
Mitri?
Mitru.
Mitru. Already. I'm trying to be smart and actually write things down now.
Always a good idea, especially with this campaign. There's a lot of names to remember.
That was an old habit I had to learn from my old games too, but luckily it was more modern stuff, so it was a little easier for me with those.
Yeah. All right, Antonio. Were you able to
So
get and everything?
I have both beautiful and remarkable feature.
Okay.
So in
Okay.
total, it says to add, two bonus dice to social interactions with strangers. So the first time I meet somebody, for remarkable feature.
Okay.
And then 1 extra for beautiful.
Yeah, fantastic. So go ahead and roll with your 2 bonus die.
How do I add those bonus die?
So whenever you go and you click on your charisma and your whichever skill you're using, down at the bottom where it has the number of dice before you hit roll, you should be able to just click and add.
They'd be regular ones, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to make you take extra hunger. That would be a dick move.
6 successes.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, you have made some very good connections. So last time, your fortress was not quite finished. You still had a little bit of time. Someone tells you one evening in the tavern, after about 3 or 4 weeks have passed, and as construction is starting to come to a close, don't trust the gargoyles.
Okay.
They just tell you that they would swear that they've seen them move.
Good to know.
Yeah, and because I'm not sure, I guess with your 6 successes, I'll let some of it carry over, but also I think you probably end up with some of those people staying on to work just for the coterie,
Yes.
doing regular tasks around the castle.
That was a secondary intent, yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. And Jason, was there anything specific you were looking for as you were trying to find out about the area?
Like I said, I was just going for trying to get the lay of the land, trying to basically, for a modern sense, Batman the towns, get understand the lay of the land to a certain degree where I know to the criminal point as well, because I got to know how to feed around here.
That's true. Okay, so I think you would know that Klausenberg, so again, ruled by the Gangrel Prince, you can definitely fit in a little bit better there than you could in some of the other towns, at least with the local kindred, because they are of the same clan. Gangrels tend to be a little bit more animalistic.
Okay.
But the other, where you feel like you have seen the most criminal element, would be Hermannstadt. And you know that the prince of that town is Marushka of Clan Nosferatu.
What is his name?
Marushka? That's the other. I mean, there's a lot of Germanic and Slavic names, so.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Most of them are gonna probably be spelt more like if they were Asian names than Western.
I mean, could be worse. As long as you know how to pronounce it, more or less.
That's how I write a lot when I don't understand. When any quick notes like this, just how do I sound it out? All right, cool.
Fair.
You said that one's more crime-ridden. You said, or
yeah, you definitely see a lot more criminal element in that area. All right. And Valencia and Alana, what would your characters be up to? What would Demetrianne and Cassian be up to?
Okay.
You looked like you had a thought, so I was.
Yeah. The usual thought of trying to find my preferred food source.
Yeah.
So Cassian would be trying to find out more or less where the sick and dying are and how they're doing, how it's doing, so they can have their usual food source, because they do not want to have to deal with eating a healthy person.
Yeah, the horror. Disgusting. Who would want to?
It's just not good. It's not good.
I think that you probably set yourself up in the area as sort of like a healer type. So people start to kind of come to the castle whenever they're like, oh, my uncle is really sick. You're like, oh, sick, huh? Weird. Let me help.
Let me help. I can help.
Yeah. And fun thing for you, it's still kind of in that time period where it's like you have too much blood. We need to get some of this blood out of you.
Yeah.
That's making you sick.
Bloodletting your ass.
Yeah.
Too much blood.
Yeah. Do you sample it later? Yeah.
They don't need to know that.
Yeah. You just don't want to wait too long because
exactly. It'd be gross.
Yeah. All right. And Demetrianne.
Demetrianne had wrapped up a set at a tavern and found somebody's wife and is in bed with said wife, about to feed on a certain spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to keep it like so that she doesn't know what I'm doing with my mouth when I'm doing something with my mouth.
Yeah. Again, what that mouth do? Yeah, and the best part is, as we have previously said, whenever you give someone the kiss, which is feeding, as a kindred, I mean, it's equivalent to the best orgasm ever. So you don't even have to do anything but feed, and you've already succeeded.
Mm-hmm. That's what that mouth do.
Amazing. Yeah, I think mid feed, you hear screaming outside. And not like an angry husband who has come home to find you in bed, but more like screaming in fear.
Oh, crap. I pull my mouth away after trying to ignore it for a bit. After like the third scream, I'm like, fuck. Okay. Pull my mouth away and say, sorry, darling. This will have to wait for another night.
And
And
she's so dazed. She's like, oh, okay. Yeah, come back soon.
and so I jump out the window. Can't go out the front door.
Standard exit.
I mean, why would you?
Right. Who uses stairs?
Doors. Ridiculous.
Exactly. So I jump out the window and investigate where the scream is coming from.
Yeah. So as you start to go towards where you hear this scream, you also hear animal-like sounds.
Odd. I cautiously move toward it, readying these hands.
Your other weapons.
Yes.
As you cautiously approach, you see this hulking form, all muscle and hair, with the corpse of someone, its innards eaten out, its ribs splayed open. And as it turns to look at you, its muzzle is just dripping blood and gore.
That's not the kind of eating out I thought was going to happen tonight.
I mean, you know, a little bit of both.
I never got to it. Anyway. Deciding whether or not to run or fight. It's probably a bit too much for me right now. As strong as I am, because I do have 4 strength, I don't know if I can take this thing because I've never encountered this thing before.
Yeah.
So I say, well, time to get the hell out of here. And back away slowly before turning around and running.
Okay. Are you trying to like hide as you're backing away? It's obviously seen you, but are you trying to like...
I'm keeping an eye on it to see if it's gonna run at me.
Sure.
And it hadn't run at me, so I turned around and ran.
Well, so as you start to back up slowly, you're still watching it, like you said, and you hear the townsfolk start to approach, or at least some of the townsfolk, the braver ones, with their torches and their pitchforks, because it's what's handy. And a couple of the men charge at this thing, and it takes its attention from you, only to maul them viciously.
Oh my god. I'm not
But
a
now
good
you have the
person.
opportunity to run.
I'm not a good person. I'm not a good person. I'm not a good person. I don't need to intervene. I don't even know these people. But some of them did help us with the castle.
At least 70 of them.
At least 70 of them. And their loved ones or whatever.
And their wives home alone while they work.
Less men, more wives.
Hey, oh,
Lots of lonely housewives in your area.
Widows.
are you trying to be a rebound?
Scars, widows, scars, widows, scars. Scars
Chicks
are
dig
hot.
scars.
Yeah.
Why not both? Why not both?
Do I know of any of the coteries around?
I feel like, and correct me if I misread this, but I feel like Dimitri and would have gone off on their own as much as possible. Like, wanted the others to not be around because you were busy. You were occupied.
Yeah.
You were getting busy.
Okay. Well, what are my chances here?
You do know that Antonio tends to be in the town most evenings.
We're not together, but we're probably still in town at the same time.
Yeah, it's not a large town, but it's large enough that you can be both in town and not run into each other unless you really try to.
I was gonna say, would I be in this town at the time that this is going on? Because
Maybe.
I'm just going around exploring different towns each night.
Yeah, I mean, because you have been away quite a bit, so maybe you're finally making your way back to the home base.
Okay.
Okay, so I yell to the remaining humans to get away from it, and I grab a pitchfork that they dropped and chuck it at it as hard as I can to distract it so that it can chase me into town square.
Yeah.
Where I would imagine at least one of my friends will be.
Hopefully. Yeah, give me dexterity and brawl.
Dexterity and brawl.
Or sorry, melee. Because it's a weapon.
Okay. I gotta take off brawl.
That's my bad.
Okay. Roll.
We were taking out brawls. What?
Success 2.
Okay. You do hit it, and you hit pretty center mass. It's not hard. It's not quite as big as a barn, but it's pretty hard to miss. This 10-foot tall werewolf. It pierces its stomach, and you see that it just grabs the handle, pulls it out as if it were nothing, and you can see as its flesh knits itself back together.
Oh, fuck this.
And when I was a werewolf, or with all this.
Olan over there, when I was a werewolf.
Do I have its attention at least?
Oh, definitely.
All right, so I yell out, "Come get me, you big, hairy, disgusting, I don't know, what the hell are you?" I'm not even thinking right now. And I run off. I jump to the nearest rooftop.
Ooh, okay. Go ahead and give me, I would say probably strength and athletics. And while you're doing that, Cassian, your Corvid friends are all in a tizzy tonight. As you are sort of in the rookery of the castle, you see a group of them like fly in, very upset. Probably one of them even a little bit bloody.
What's happening? What? Why are you injured?
They just say, wolf, wolf.
A wolf? Well, just don't go on the ground then.
Big wolf.
Big wolf? How big?
They kind of like tilt their head for a minute because they can only give you, very simple answers. And they say, like, they look up and just say, bigger.
Oh. What is this wolf? The wolf is attacking?
And they just all are screaming as you say that, which is a lovely sound. All like 30 crows screaming.
A cacophony.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go find the wolf. I'll find friends. Maybe. I don't know. Have you seen my friends?
One of them says, with wolf.
With wolf. Off I go. They kind of do a little spazzy dance and do their thing. Try getting things or grabbing stuff,
Yeah.
finding things.
Less a dance, more just like awkward, like, oh shit, what do I need?
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
where's my stuff? Where is my stuff? And run off and try and find. Lead me. Please direct me where this is.
They do very hesitantly.
Stay up high.
Yeah, definitely. Demetrian, how was your roll?
3 success.
Okay, yeah, you are able to leap up on the nearest roof. The werewolf does so with ease.
It's already halfway there.
Yeah.
Just standing.
Yeah. It is on your ass.
Yeah, so I am booking it, as we say.
I don't remember. Do you have celerity?
Celerity.
It'd be a discipline.
Hold on.
I know Jason does, but
I was gonna say, fun fact. That's my big purchase I was talking about the other day. Right.
I do not. So my discipline, I have presence, potence, and fortitude.
Oh, you're probably gonna want that potence.
Oh yeah.
So I have lethal body.
Mm-hmm. Give him that lethal bod.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
Let's see. I don't think they need to activate the power to already have that.
Yeah.
So I hit potence and I roll.
What does your... Actually, I have your character sheet open this time. Because I'm responsible sometimes.
What's that like?
I don't know. It's a first.
New experience, right?
Ooh, okay. So with lethal body, you can deal a lot of damage to mortals.
Mm-hmm.
Fun fact. While Geru are not immortal, they don't count as mortals for this purpose.
Fun.
Yeah, it's fine. Everything's fine. Nothing's on fire yet.
Okay.
Yeah, so before we resolve that, though, so basically what it does is it lets you do aggravated health damage to mortals. It lets you do a little bit more damage potentially to supernaturals. So it's not anything you have to do. It is a passive effect. But Antonio,
Yes.
you've been hanging out in the tavern, and people seem to be concerned. You see that the tavern keep is trying to bar the door currently. Like they're going and they're grabbing the large piece of wood, trying to put it in place. But they're an older person, so they're having a little bit of trouble with it.
Yeah. When I notice there are less people around to hear me regale with whatever I'm trying to say, I take notice and offense at the disruption and ask what's going on.
You hear a lot of incomplete sentences, but what you can sort of gather, someone is talking about a monster.
Well, if I didn't hear the word wolf, I would assume someone else may have lost control.
Which is a possibility.
Yes. So before they can bar anything, I tell them, no, use that table over there and step out before they're done. I shall return shortly.
Amazing. As you step out into the Transylvanian night, you hear shouts. You hear people gathering together, and you hear someone screaming about a werewolf. While you're trying to... Oh, go ahead.
I don't know any of my coterie to be exceptionally hairy, so this is probably a monster or a very large actual creature.
I feel like of the coterie, probably Jason would be the closest, being a gangrel.
How can you tell with all that leather?
Jeez.
It wasn't me this time.
I'm trying to gather your bearings.
Friendly fire.
Antonio, as you're gathering your bearings, trying to figure out where this is going on,
Yes.
you do see who you can assume to be Demetrian. They are a bit of a striking figure, even in the night.
Indeed.
On a rooftop, running. And shortly after they land on this rooftop, you see a hulking beast jump up after them.
Of course.
I love that Antonio's first thought is typical.
It would be them.
It would be me.
I make my way towards them, but try to keep the wolf between the two of us.
Okay.
I want to go up behind it.
Fancy seeing you here.
Getting yourself into trouble, I see. I guess it's not just the rest of us.
Listen, I'm getting people out of trouble. This thing would have killed the whole town if it wasn't for me.
I do believe that.
So, do me a favor and help me kill this thing, maybe? I threw a pitchfork at it, and it kind of pulled it off, looked at me and said, this is nothing, bitch. So, thus the rooftop hopping.
Let's try one of these, and I pull out a sword.
Do I
Absolutely.
see all this happening at this point?
Yeah, as you were arriving back in town, chaos. So a typical Wednesday night, but maybe a little more than usual.
I don't even question it. I just see them fighting. I just start running towards it.
Yeah. It's kind of normal at this point.
Unfortunately.
Please give me a strength and athletics roll.
Strength athletics. Okay.
Oh, Demetrian, sorry.
Oh, sorry. I misheard.
All good.
Strength.
Because you're behind it. It doesn't see you. It can hear you, but it's not looking at you.
I mean, I can be purposefully unseen if I need to be, or less seen.
True.
7 success.
Jesus. Okay. Where were all these rolls before when you guys needed them?
No
What do you mean? We need them now.
Yeah, we need
There's
to
a werewolf.
So, as this creature pounces on you, it starts to pin you down against the roof and says, "You die." And you are able to kick it off of you just enough that it is not able to actually sink its claws into you.
Okay.
So, Antonio, I know you wanted to do some stabby.
Yeah, seeing that, I'm going to try to take that opportunity to get a good shot in while it's unaware.
Absolutely. Yeah, give me your strength and melee.
Strength and melee. Okay. Now again, if I don't have any points in melee, it's just strength, right?
Oh, yep. Things to use those XP on.
Yes, eventually. Let's see. Zero successes.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
Okay. So the thing is, again, it's not hard to hit. Did you say you have a rapier?
Yeah, some kind of sword
Yeah.
larger than whatever dagger I used the previous time.
Yeah. This is slightly bigger than dagger needs. Yeah, so you easily sink your sword into it, and as it turns to face you, snaps the blade.
Ooh.
While it's turned against him, I'm gonna try to like climb on its back and like try to grab his mouth and like pull it open to like break his jaw at least.
Yeah, we'll do that in just a sec. We'll give our other two a chance to join this.
Yeah,
This
I
brawl.
want to fight.
I will say, Jason and Cassian,
Mhm.
as you approach, you're approaching from opposite directions. So maybe you kind of have that Spider-Man moment of like you, as you like see each other down the street. But you also would know, even if you've never encountered a werewolf, even if you have not heard much about them, this is not a normal human thing. For humans to just go toe-to-toe with a large creature like this, especially because you can see these half-eaten bodies, these mangled corpses on the ground of the townsfolk who clearly tried to do so. You can see that your compatriots currently look unharmed. This is probably a PR disaster.
Mhm.
Just a little.
Unless we survive and save the town from the werewolf, then we have wiggle.
I'm gonna say you can assume that no, because they're gonna know something is up, and while they're probably going to be very thankful that they didn't all get eaten, well, probably some of them got eaten, but in a different way.
Yeah.
But while they didn't get murdered, there's some other things to be concerned about in the area, and that's when the torches and pitchforks come after you again.
Yeah.
It's only been one session that you've not had that, so.
In other words, we need to get this bitch the fuck out of town while looking like we're damsels in distress.
Yes,
Mhm.
I can do
Cassian's
that.
like, I got this.
Just,
Latest.
friend.
I mean, Cassian, you could just get your ravens to obscure the site.
I mean, yeah.
True. I was actually going to consider it because I really like the idea of like flying in with ravens, but then I was like a little too
Too
suspicious.
Yeah, because there are some townsfolk who are still in the area. Most of them are trying to barricade themselves in as best they can, but if someone were to see that, that's pretty hard to explain.
Why did Cassian come out of a cloud of birds?
Well, see what happened was you're drunk.
Well, you see, someone accidentally laced the town's well with some mushrooms.
Oh, no,
Everything you saw wasn't real.
We'll just go, the Salem witch trials. It was all like bad rye.
Bad rye.
Yeah,
Some bad
I I can't think of what it is, but there's like a certain type of mold that
Yeah.
does have the hallucinogenic effects.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It specifically grows on rye.
Ah,
Thanks, history class. I paid attention once.
I did not pay attention to that part of history class.
Listen, I was a good kid at that point, but I still was like, hallucinogens? That's interesting.
I was a good child. I just paid attention to the war section of history.
Fair. So,
That was
the two of you are approaching this
I heard
crime
that.
scene in progress. I
Mhm.
guess. What are the two of you doing?
I was just gonna say I wanted to run up and kind of do the same thing as what Demetrian did, and run up and jump on top of the roof and everything. But I want to actually get onto his back while yelling at them saying that we need to get this bitch the fuck out of town.
I love that we're talking about like trying to cover things up, and you're like, let's scream our plan.
Oh no! Like I'm not screaming. Like as I'm running past them to get like crawl up on top. Because I'm assuming they're both on front and back of the werewolf, right?
Yeah. I mean, they're not on it right now. They're maybe about to be.
That's what I was gonna say. Like as I'm running past, not like screaming the plan, just
Gotcha.
like as I'm going past Demetrian or whoever is on the side of the werewolf that I'm going past. Let them know we need to get him the fuck out.
I love the mental image of like Demetrian is about to jump on its back. Jason just jumps up on this building, jumps on its back too, and they're like whispering secrets to each other.
Okay, not whisper, all right? Like I said, I'm not screaming.
We're gonna go
Just
to all the extremes. It's more fun that way.
Well, I have this image of getting on his back and stabbing my claws into his brain. See how that works.
I mean, you could certainly try. What about you, Cassian? What are you doing?
I'm going to use. I'm pretty sure the werewolf is distracted by several people being on its back.
Just a little bit.
I mean, it's large enough. To
I
have
was
two
gonna
people
I
on
was
his back.
gonna try and like I don't know use my awe to attract its attention and like go out
Yeah,
out of the city.
absolutely. How do you want to get its attention specifically?
I would use probably I think my persuasion.
Yeah.
Persuade it.
I can
Just-
only imagine that. Actually, you know what? I would let you use animal kin because this is animal
That's what I
like.
was wondering. That's
Yeah.
what I was wondering.
And I think that you would know that, especially dogs or wolves, when something runs, their instinct tends to be chase, kill.
Yeah.
So if you get its attention and then run, pretty likely to follow you. Maybe it will murder you, but you know, it's
I
minor
was gonna
details.
say,
We'll get
I
there
had-
when that comes.
I just had the image of Cassie going, "Here, boy, come on!" to the werewolf of the town.
You're not far off.
So Cassian, please give me your charisma and animal kin, which is probably our highest dice pool yet of 8.
Yep.
Nice.
I'm just trying to find the things. Charisma. I click new.
The things and the stuff.
And then animal can, which is in.
And I do have to, while you're doing that, Alana, I do have to ask Valencia and Raven, if this werewolf takes off, are you staying on its back? Or are
Yes,
you-
because like I said, as soon as I get on his back, I want to do the roll and everything, but as soon as I get up there, I want to activate my claws and stab into him to hold on.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm
you
just
have to-
grabbing the jaw, so
Yeah.
Charisma.
And Raven, you have to make a rouse check, right?
For the claws, I do believe that is correct. Let me
Okay.
roll. Yep, 1 rouse check.
Yeah, if you want to go ahead and roll that while Alana's
Trying
doing.
to figure out what's going on with this thing. Oh, whoa, that's way too many dice.
Oof,
Is
Here
it?
we go.
Is it?
no success.
Oh, bad. That's 3 successes.
I mean, that's not terrible. It's not great given how many dice you had, but I mean, 3 successes is enough. That how do you get its attention?
I'll be like, "Hey, big boy, do you want a treat? Come this way. Come this way."
You could have just whistled.
Amazing. Yeah.
And then, yeah, of course, I'll whistle. I won't actually be really loud.
So as you do, it turns. Demetrian currently on its back. Jason is about to be on its back. And it starts to pounce in your direction. And Cassian, you're running, I'm assuming.
Yeah, and screaming fuck. It's like really fun.
I feel like that's most of their plans.
Yeah.
Run and scream fuck.
Yes.
Yeah. Jason, go ahead and give me strength and brawl, please.
Strength and brawl. Does grappling help with this?
Do you have a specialty?
Yes.
Definitely would. And Antonio, as you see all this going down, are you just going back to talking to the townsfolk, or are you going to help out?
No, I'll help. I need a good story when I return.
Yeah. I'm going to say it would be hilarious if he was just like, they got it.
They got it.
Like,
See,
Or
that's
down in the car.
Here's like casually knocking on the end, like, hey, it's gone. Let me back in.
well, they're gone.
I got 4 successes.
That's right. What is your claw damage with the discipline?
No, it's at least aggravated, so that's always good.
I think it's aggravated against mortals. I don't know if it's aggravated against everything.
Okay. Opera, I need you to do what you need to do. Work with me here.
It's asking a lot.
Also, I just want to say, don't mind me if I start dying in the background.
Well, I think you're all dying in the foreground currently.
No, we are not. I don't want to think like that. No.
Not today.
I love the charades lineup.
Just running. Oh god.
Yeah. All right.
Piercing brawl weapon with a +2 modifier. Attacks only deal 2 points of aggravate. Vampiric bite attacks will deal 2 points of aggravated damage despite the number of successes, but do not suffer the 1 success penalty. Superficial the user's natural weapon is not.
I only caught
notifications
part of it
go away.
because you were mumbling, so.
Yeah, I'm reading through it real quick to myself, and I read better when I'm mumbling it. Sorry.
That's fair. No, that's fair. I just wasn't sure if that was supposed to be heard or not.
It's not telling me anything about that.
What was the ability called again?
Feral weapons.
Okay.
Because it just says a +2 modifier to damage.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, that's perfect. That's what
Modifier to what is the base damage?
So the base damage is dependent on what type of attack you're using. In this case, claws would be +1, because it's not a super powerful attack.
Yeah.
And then it's based on your successes versus its. Because you're on its back, it doesn't really get the ability to defend itself. In this case, I'm sorry. You said you had how many successes on your attack
4
roll?
successes.
4? Okay. This is my least favorite part because there's math, and I am not a math gay. Okay, so you do sink your claws in, not into its brain, probably like into its neck, like trying to get into the spinal cord, and it just reaches back, grabs each of you, and yeets you.
Can I like drag my claws along his arm as he's eating me?
I feel like you were sunk in pretty deep, so it might be a little hard for you to do that.
Well, I mean, that's what I mean. Like, if he's grabbing me, he's not gonna like be able to fully like lift me straight up. Because I mean, the claws go out like 6-7 inches
Right.
with feral claws.
It's also a werewolf, so they're not really.
Got a lot of hide.
Yeah, they're not super concerned. I mean, number one, they're beefy. Number two, they're not super concerned with wounds. Typically, they can regenerate pretty quickly.
I got yeeted. I didn't even get to roll to see if I can grab his jaw.
It's okay. You'll have your chance.
Fine.
It's very unceremonious as you're just like tossed into the dirt.
Yeet.
Cassian's panicking because nobody's there.
Just imagine a werewolf going. Yeet.
Yeah, exactly. It actually invented the term, not vine.
Right.
Yeah, so Antonio, you see your compatriots get thrown off of this werewolf. You can still sort of around the werewolf see Cassian, but they're only able to run so fast. The werewolf is much faster. It is quickly catching up to them. As Cassian, I'm assuming you're heading out into the woods.
Yeah. I'm gonna die in the woods.
No, you're not.
You'll die happy, right?
We're all going to die in the woods because we're chasing you as well.
If that happens,
Into the woods.
the ravens.
So Cassian, what is your plan at this point? Is it just like run for as long as you can, or are you trying to like lead it to any specific point?
If I can. Are there any like cliffy areas in this forest, or
None that would be like you can Wile E. Coyote.
how dare you predict what I'm gonna do?
It's more of you're in the lowlands, and the cliffs would be going up, and you could guess it can probably climb faster than you.
Yeah. I'm gonna run into the forest and hope I can fucking smell. I can fucking smell.
I didn't catch most of that, but it's just fantastic. So.
I did, and it was great.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I have advantage of sight because I can see in the dark.
Oh no. Oh no.
And look, now it's dark.
Their dark vision, and they yeeted themselves out of the stream.
They entered the
Oh
void.
my god.
R.I.P. Anyway, yeah, I was going to say, Antonio, as you are chasing after, I assume Dimitri and Jason are not far behind, like once they dust themselves off a little bit.
Yeah, I'm screaming, we gotta get over there because it's gonna kill Cassian.
Yeah.
Can't let that little weirdo die.
Speaking of that little weirdo.
Welcome back.
My browser decided to just abruptly shut down on me.
Of course.
Good time. Good time.
Fun.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was just really funny because you were talking about your dark vision. And it's like, they're gone.
I'll try and use that to my advantage, I hope. Maybe try and hide.
Yeah, so I will tell you. I mean, you know this because you've played a werewolf before. They can see in the dark.
Okay. We're fine.
I'm having a great time. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, so Cassian, you are running for your life. You can, at this point, feel its hot breath on the back of your neck. You can hear as its claws are ripping up grass right behind you. It is about to catch you.
I pull it
What?
with cutlass.
Makes sense. But the rest of our coterie, it's probably not as close behind as they would like, but close enough that if you had like a ranged weapon, which I know
I do
Jason does not
Ranged
have,
weapon.
you can't use a ranged weapon right now.
Can I throw it at them?
Okay, so technically on the side, I look like and am size of an 18-year-old. How far would you be able to throw a 18-year-old Demetrian?
I can throw.
Do you really want to? Do you really want to get
Listen,
into that? Because this is a
my
werewolf.
strength.
Well,
my
I
strength
mean,
is 4.
if it was just fucking around, I wouldn't trust. But since it's dealing with Cassian, I at least somewhat trust Demetrian to at least have their best interest in heart.
Yeah, a fastball special.
Although you're not quite as big as you might need to be.
No, but
Also, the thing is, you don't have like potence.
Oh, the super strike shit. That's right.
Yeah. Well, you do, but not the right one. Yeah. Yes.
Did someone forget something?
No, I just think, but like, because I'm pretty good at survival,
Mm-hmm.
would I be able to like use my survival knowledge to find like a nook cranny thing to
Yeah, absolutely.
ditch him at?
Yeah, give me intelligence and survival roll.
Okay, intelligence, great.
You asked, okay?
Oh, great. Apparently, I need it to be more intelligent.
And chases like this is why I need to increase my celerity.
Yeah. I mean, are you going to use your celerity at all?
I only have rapid reflexes, and that only affects dodging.
That's fair. Yeah. Unfortunate.
Okay.
If only there was experience points.
That, like I said, that's my big purchase.
4 successes.
Hey!
Amazing. Look at you go. Is that 4 out of 4?
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, so Cassian, you know the forest pretty well. You can guess that the werewolf probably knows it decently well too, but it's not thinking super clearly. I mean, it wasn't communicating in like full sentences. You don't think that it has the same capability as you do right now. You may not be the smartest, but you still have a little bit of intelligence advantage here at the moment. Mostly because you've been around and seen some things, and you remember that there is a set of trees that they have grown like at an angle to each other that you know that you can fit under really easily, but this thing is much larger than you. And so you just run and last second kind of juke, like take a sidestep into that, and it crashes shoulders first into this, which is painful if you've ever crashed shoulders first into something. And it screams, it howls in rage and pain. And as it is pulling itself back out, very unceremoniously, maybe a little bit of revenge for our two who got yeeted, even though Cassian didn't know that happened, the 3 of you are able to catch up as it is extricating itself from this.
All right. So I don't have weapons. I just rely on my hands. So I kind of
I mean, you've had the chance that even if you didn't have weapons before, you could have weapons now.
I'm not a weapon person.
Fair.
I was gonna say, how long would it take about to run up to catch up to him?
Oh, that's what I was saying. Like, you
Right
guys
there.
catch up.
No, like because I was gonna say, should we at least figure something out, or are we just gonna still go in
there's
there?
no
and...
time to plan. There is not time to discuss. This.
So
No, that's what I was asking.
thing.
Like, because I don't know how far into the woods we went. So I was just wondering.
Oh, a decent ways.
All right, so I run up on it, grab it by its hind legs, and pull it down so it like falls forward on its face.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and give me strength and athletics.
Strength and athletics. 3 success.
It got 4. So as you do, you start to pull on it. It has pulled itself back out, and it slashes at you with its claws, dealing 1 point of non-aggravated damage. So you can also recover pretty quickly from a lot of things, just not as much or as quickly as a werewolf.
Okay. So can I just punch this thing?
You could next round, since you did try to do that. The important thing is it definitely slashed right through whatever you were wearing. It messed up the fit.
Now I'm shirtless again.
Not quite.
Maybe like
shirtless.
No. I ripped it off.
It's cut. It's fucked anyways. It just takes it fully off.
Just titties out. Amazing. All right, Antonio, you haven't gotten to do a whole lot.
Not yet. Let's see. Physical violence.
You could try emotional violence. That's not...
I could. I might be good at that.
Do you know anything about its mother?
I do have a bit of intimidation, a bit of occult.
Okay.
That might help.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think how I would like to come at this situation.
Oh, we're coming at it now?
I mean, that's one possibility.
I think the chat is, for sure.
I can see Bird already typing, even though I'm looking at my sheet. I know exactly what she's typing right now. She hit send. There it is. I want to describe it in a way that I might actually be able to think about what the role could be.
Yeah.
Can I try and ascertain a possible weak point and attempt to attack that weak point if I can find it?
Oh, okay. Yeah, give me intelligence and occult.
Intelligence and occult. Okay.
And yes, Julia, you are being a very good girl.
The best.
Oh, is Julia being a good girl?
Mm-hmm. Very good girl.
That's a good girl.
Just everyone.
3 successes.
Okay. So, you probably have never encountered a werewolf. You would have heard a lot of stories, though. And I think maybe even your sire has told you a little bit that they've heard or maybe even experienced. And the thing that would be most relevant or potentially relevant would be not so much a weak point, but a weakness. That werewolves, much like kindred, are weak to fire.
Perfect.
And Antonio, you don't have the dark vision, right?
I don't remember. Is that a specific?
It is. Elena, do you remember what it's called?
Mine's from Oblivion, so I have Oblivion's sight.
Mine is from Protean called Eyes of the Beast.
I have heightened senses, and it says the ability to see in pitch darkness.
Oh, okay. So
Perfect.
everyone but Demetrian can see in the dark.
That's fine. It's fine because I only need to see what's directly in front of these fists.
Or in front of your face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So I would say it's up to you. I was going to say, if you didn't have dark vision, that it's pretty likely you probably would have grabbed a torch because you knew that you were going to be running after it. I would say it's totally up to you.
If I wouldn't be adverse to holding a torch, then yes.
Usually, Rote Shrek is mostly triggered by fire being used in a violent way against you. It can be triggered by other things, but I think probably in your moment of panic, you wouldn't really be paying a whole lot of attention to it. It would be more of like, let's make sure everyone can see. And at this point, the four of you have been together for a little bit, so I'm sure you're like, this bitch can't see in the dark. Somebody's gonna grab a
Like, why are you going out in the dark? I would have some kind of light with me just so it doesn't look like I can see in the dark.
That's also a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would say you would definitely have been able to grab a torch. Cassian, you did not have a chance because you were doing the brave thing. Not dumb.
Yeah, totally brave.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Dimitri and Jason, I'll leave it up to you whether you would have potentially grabbed a torch or not.
Nope.
No.
As soon as we were out of the town, I turned on Feral Eyes of the Beast.
Yeah.
I just ran on instinct.
Amazing.
Listen, little weirdos in trouble. I'm not thinking.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Just, I would say adrenaline, but you don't have like an endocrine system anymore. So,
No.
yeah. So, Jason, what are you doing at this point?
I am slightly repeating my action from earlier, where I'm going to try and get up on his back, but instead of like jumping on and stabbing, I'm going to slide across his back and try to drag my claws across the back of his neck.
Okay. I will say, because it turned around to attack Dimitrian, it is now facing you, so it will...
I was going to say go around from the side and do it then.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so go ahead and give me your strength and brawl.
Would that be strength, since I'm just trying to like jump and slide around?
Well, because you're trying to do damage with your claws, right?
Yes.
So yeah, with the claws, it would definitely be strength.
Okay.
Yeah. And Chad, don't worry, I didn't forget you. You were just doing the pondering, sleuthing thing. So we'll get to your action.
The only reason I ask is my dex is 4 and my strength is 3.
Fair. Listen, you're the one who chose feral claws and put your strength at 3.
Oh, because it also, I mean, sometimes you can use sharp weapons as a dex weapon too.
No, I get it. I get it. I mean, it's your character. You don't have to min max here. I'm still gonna give you a little bit of shit, but
listen, I used to min max. I have gone away from doing that shit.
Yeah, it's all about max minning now, making the worst possible character because it's more fun.
True.
Well, if I made him a stealthy boy, I need dex for stealth.
Yeah, that's true.
Combat is secondary.
Is it?
Not for me.
Well, it was supposed. I thought it was. I thought we were having more political deceit shit. Need no information, man.
It's
This is why I'm the tank and the distraction.
Except for tonight.
Listen. Rogues may not do much damage, but they do a lot of damage in a short amount of time. All right.
Speaking of damage, how was your roll?
I had to reload Demiplane.
Good times.
And 3 successes.
Okay. Yeah. And you can see that your attacks haven't been a total waste. You can tell that what you had done earlier, it's healed quite a bit from, but not completely. and then you see that it is starting to heal from what you do just now, like as you slash across its neck. But it seems like maybe it's slowed down a little bit. Like maybe it's taking enough damage that it's not able to heal as quickly.
Okay.
Yeah. And Cassian, you have not had the opportunity to really do anything yet, but run. So,
Yeah.
Cassian, what are you doing?
So I have my my blade out, my little cutlass.
Mhm.
I'm going to stab him in the back while his back is to me.
Okay. Go for it. Be
Be
strength and melee.
Strength and melee. Okay. Just need to get the other part. Melee. Boop. 2.
I love the sound effects. Now I'm just picturing like Cassian just booping as they stab it.
Doop-a-doo.
A little Zembo. Yeah, so you are able to stab it roughly where you think maybe its kidneys are. You do see that it starts to bleed, but it doesn't seem like it's really slowing down yet. It seems like mostly what you guys have done is more superficial than like serious wounds.
Checks
Like
out.
stuff that it would
Checks
probably heal from fairly quickly. So, Chad, now that you've sussed out its weakness, or at least remembered its weakness, what would Antonio be doing?
Yes. A potential. So I'm thinking, looking, and I just take notice of the torch I'm holding. I'm like, okay, let's try this. And I will work towards getting close enough to it to either hit its chest, its face, something that would normally be vital, and trying to inflict as much damage with the fire as possible.
Okay. Are you going for like a bash or like a stab?
Ooh.
I love the very talkative cat in the background.
Yeah. I think a stab, but I'm mostly just trying to get as much fire across its body wherever I can hit it as possible.
Absolutely. Yeah. So go ahead and give me the strength and melee, please.
Okay.
While he's doing that, Demetrian, are you wanting to jump on its back now?
Oh, it's not facing me anymore?
No, it's facing you, but you can still try and like maneuver around because at this point there's 4 of you all attacking from more or less different directions. So it's kind of like turning every time it gets poked and prodded.
I had a thought. If Cassian left the cutlass in them, I can punch it deeper in.
I feel like that's not likely, though. I like where your head's at. I love
Impale it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, you could. Yeah, just all shish kebabs of different types, different creatures. I mean, you could yell that to them, but then the werewolf is going to hear your plan. So,
yeah, can I? Does it still have open wounds?
Yeah, I mean they're hard to tell for you because they're mostly on its back.
Okay, so can I go around its back and like find an open wound and dig my fingers in and just try to like pull its flesh apart?
It's amazing and horrible.
That made my back cringe.
I think probably as Cassian like stabs it because they are behind it, it's going to pivot. Like I said, it's going to pivot like every time it's getting poked and prodded.
Yeah.
So yeah, go ahead and give me strength and brawl. And Antonio, how was your roll?
0 successes.
Oh no! Okay, I will tell you, and I forgot to mention this earlier because it wasn't as pressing. You can spend willpower to reroll dice.
Let me see.
It is a slippery slope, so I do advise caution with it.
Yeah. Especially
I
if
do
you don't have a lot of
remember-
willpower, it can come back to bite you. But
Yeah. Is willpower replenished at any point?
yeah, you can replenish it. It won't happen tonight necessarily, or at least not during this fight. But yeah, it will come back.
I had 4 success.
Amazing. We'll let Antonio reroll real quick.
Yeah, I think I have to try.
Yeah, might as well. Hopefully your reroll is better. I would say it can't get worse, but it can.
Let's see. No, still 0.
Oh my god.
What?
Antonio, you are just having some terrible luck in combat today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that you go to like hit it with your torch, and again, it's not hard to hit. I think what it does is it just bats it out of your hand, but it does light some of the leaves on fire.
Mm.
So,
Okay.
yay,
Forest
forest
fire.
fire!
Sure.
Nobody tell Smokey about this, okay?
Smokey doesn't exist yet.
Or Smokey's a werebear.
Oh god.
That'd be amazing.
Okay, again, they
Yeah.
don't exist, so
Yeah,
unfortunately.
I do love a Gargoyle, so I would.
Oh yeah, same.
Yeah. So Demetrian, you are able to kind of like dig your fingers into its neck. I feel like as you're trying to pull its flesh apart, it is like actively fighting against you. Number one, it's like reaching back, trying to scratch at you, and also it's just like regenerating pretty quickly.
Yeah, so I'm just like pulling with all my strength. So
Yeah.
to keep it from regenerating, hoping that somebody will pick up the torch and put the fire where I'm holding.
Some acrobatics, but you know it could happen.
Wait.
Yeah, so that's what I'm doing.
Okay. Yeah. I think Jason.
Yes. So I would say Jason hasn't fully caught on to what Michi is doing. So I was gonna say he's gonna replicate what they did earlier and try to grab his jaw, but instead of trying to break it like they were, grab it like put my claws were like just at the opening, like top of the jaw, and rip around trying to cut his jaw off.
Okay.
Like with
I'm
a
gonna-
motion kind of thing.
I'm gonna
Like,
tell you now. You're gonna get hurt.
That's fine.
You're gonna get real hurt in the process.
At this point, it's bound to happen because of what we're fighting.
That's fair. Go ahead and roll.
What am I rolling? The strength of roll again?
I hope you roll well.
What do I?
It got 6 successes.
Ooh. Guess how many dice I'm rolling?
Probably
6.
not a lot. Oh, 6? Okay. Well,
This
hopefully
one-
they're all successes. The tension.
Hey, so you remember the thing we just told Chad about?
Oh,
You can do the
no.
same thing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you should definitely do the same thing. You should definitely reroll that 0 success.
Oh, it's technically
That's
3.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, if it's 0 success, you're in a lot of trouble. You're in a world of hurt. Alana with a nervous laughter.
Be with me, please. It went up to 4 successes.
Okay, so you try your damnedest. You are able to sink your claws in, but mostly you succeed in pissing it off, as it now throws you, just one-handed, grabs you by the chest, like you are a basketball, and it is, one of those
Foaming,
basketball
yeah.
players who, has a massive hand, can just grab it, lifts you up, slams you down, bites into your chest and shoulder, and you are going to take 3 aggravated damage.
Yeah.
Which I don't remember how much health you have, but for most of our party, that is very, very significant.
Luckily, I have 6 health, so
That's still half of your health
Yeah.
in one bite.
Hey, as long as I'm still awake
It has you
and alive. Things can change. It'll be fine. We'll be fine. I promise.
Yeah. Totally fine. Everything's fine. Cassian.
Can
As
I,
you
Okay.
can I whisper to Cassian?
I don't think there's any whisper
Fire.
at this point.
Can I yell?
Scream fire.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Someone get this fire in this hole.
Fire in
Stick
my
that
hole.
torch in this deep red hole.
Just slide it right
that's
in.
my job.
Cassian, you wouldn't necessarily be able to get up there and get into position, but you could grab the torch.
Okay.
I will have you make a willpower roll.
Alrighty.
So hopefully that goes well. So
How do I
since
do
you have 5 willpower, it's just 5 dice.
Okay.
But you can also click on it and it'll ask you if you want to roll willpower.
Yeah. Let me roll. Why won't you? Oh, there it is. I found the button. Wait. Did you work? Oh, 4 successes.
Okay, good. Because with this fire spreading, you run the risk of frenzy because of the Rotrek. So, you were able to grab the torch. You have a moment of panic, of just the fire consuming you, and you're like, no, other things are going to consume me first. So, priorities.
My priority.
And then you are able to toss the torch up to Demetrian.
Okay. I will toss the torch up to Demetrian.
Yeah. And then Antonio, as we come back to you, again, your compatriot. Bit right in the leather, actually, now that I think about it.
Of course.
So, good thing you have the extra padding, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know that it did any good in this case, actually. But you can see what the others are doing with the torch. Trying to take what you had started and carry that on. But Jason is in very dire straits.
I'm in danger.
I think we're beyond danger.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
I will try to move towards him and get between him and the werewolf.
You would not be able to do that.
No, he's
Because
he's
it
still
hasn't-
chumped.
Yes.
Okay.
And it hasn't pinned down to the ground.
I could attempt some intimidation to try to get him to release.
I'm going to tell you, with the way that it has been, it hasn't done a lot of damage to most of you, but it has not really felt threatened at this point. I'm going to tell you that intimidation would be at a severe disadvantage. You could try.
Okay.
I wouldn't advise it.
I suspect I know what's happening with this werewolf. Personally. No spoilers. No spoilers.
That's how I feel with a lot of things they mention about other vampires and such.
Yeah.
Let's see. I have an idea.
Okay.
I don't know how it works in the world, or if it would work at all.
Hit me.
But
Let's hear it.
can I attempt to feed off of the werewolf? Is that something? I mean, I don't know everything about werewolves. I know
Right.
a bit that they might have had that weakness.
Yeah.
Unless I've in passing heard no, don't, or you can't.
Right.
That's what I would try at the moment to maybe either weaken it and or embolden myself.
Yeah. I think what you would have heard is don't, not because it's like dangerous or anything, don't because it's disgusting.
It's like, oh, you eat that? That kind of, okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you're eating a dog. So like, ew, why would you do that? What is wrong with you? But also, if the dog is eating
But
you,
sometimes you gotta bite a dog.
yeah. If
Hey,
the dog,
they
If
bite
the dog's
you,
biting
you
your
bite
friend,
back.
you might have to bite a
Gotta
dog.
back.
So
Is that what Jason should do since he technically did get bit already?
what was that?
It's like, should I do that since Jason already got bit?
You know, we can try that in a minute, but
yeah, when I have an opportunity, that's what I'm going to try for next.
oh, I mean, you have the opportunity. This is your turn.
I mean, the muzzle's engaged, so I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, you just
I'm
have the
going to attempt if
claws.
I can.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
So that'd be strength and brawl.
Okay.
Hopefully you roll better this time.
Yeah, we'll see.
Cries.
Surprisingly, very, very surprisingly, 2 successes.
Okay, all right, that's decent. Because again, it is engaged. It is not really trying to defend itself. It doesn't get to roll against you. So you do sink your fangs in. Where would you be biting?
If I know anything about dogs, just like I know they have a similar, like,
Going for the jugular.
yeah, kind of thing. Like, oh, if you hit them here, they bleed a lot. So let's
Right.
go for the part where they're going to bleed faster.
Okay. Yeah. So you bite into it, and it tastes disgusting. Immediately as you bite into it, you can tell you get like a chunk of flesh with it because it's going to push you off. But immediately, much like if you were to eat any kind of human food or drink human drinks, you forcefully regurgitate anything that you got. Not that there's probably a lot in your stomach, but all of it just projectiles out.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Demetrian's is just right there, so they're having a night. Probably not as bad as Jason, but it's also not great.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's not the first fluid that got jetted at me today.
On that note, Demetrian, you now have
So-
the torch.
Yeah, I have the torch with my free hand, and I just jam it into the hole that I'm holding open.
Yeah.
In hopes that does some damage.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna say for this, because yes, it knows that you're there. Yes, it knows you're trying to do something. It's a little bit busy with being bitten in the jugular, and also Jason.
Uh-huh.
It's busy snacking. So you are able to like jam this in. It does not die immediately, but it howls in pain, rears up, throwing you off of its back, and it's like clawing, trying to get this, and it is ripping its own flesh, trying to get this torch out. At this point, because you have set fire to the leaves nearby, the trees have also caught fire. It's in the wintertime. Everything is dry and dead. So
We gotta get out of here.
yeah.
Can I pick up Jason as it like got off of him and just run?
Yeah, I would imagine since like it's gonna try and throw you off, and you're somewhat dexterous. You know, you probably knew that was likely to happen. That I would even say you're able to like jump forward towards like where Antonio is and grab.
Yeah, so that's what I do. I tell everyone we got to get the hell out of here before everything just starts burning with us alongside it, and just let this motherfucker burn.
Alrighty.
Is that it?
Locks.
Nobody?
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna say anything to that?
Just Jason, like half dead. Okay, cool.
So I just scoop him up and put him on my shoulder like this.
I'm used to running.
Do that little like. Okay, let's go.
I hope you enjoyed your snack. Let's go.
Amazing. Yeah. So none of our coterie would know this, but for the sake of the audience at home, as our four kindred run back, the forest does go up. I mean, you would be able to tell that the forest goes up in flames, but our werewolf friend slinks off into the night.
Jerk.
Only to return another day, probably.
Yes.
Probably a little
It's fine.
more.
It's fine.
But yeah, a little angrier, maybe a little more knowing
Maybe more
what's coming.
vindictive. You know.
Maybe with some friends. I don't know.
Season 1 antagonist, you say?
Just wait. It gets
I pissed it off.
We're not done yet.
We all kind of pissed it off.
yeah.
Yeah.
If it makes anybody feel better, which it probably won't, that's not the most powerful thing that you're going to come up against in this session. So
Oh,
This session?
I'm
This
sure.
session.
yeah,
In this session.
it's fine. So
I'm just gonna die.
Antonio, I know you were trying to do some crowd control. How are you going to spin this story?
Oh boy. So
Some help?
that depends on if I want them to see Jason, which probably not. I don't want them to know how wounded he actually is. So I think I would suggest the rest to go back to the castle
Like,
and
take
get
the long
him
route?
situated,
Yeah.
and I'll try to spin a tale to the townsfolk.
Yeah, like take the long way home, probably.
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is going to be a little bit of a difficult roll. It's not going to be our standard kind of difficulty. Give me a charisma and I'm going to say performance because you gotta do some tap dancing to.
Charisma and performance. Okay,
Mhm.
let's see. One moment, refreshing.
Just running, wounded, tits out, dude on my shoulder.
Again, your normal Wednesday night.
Yeah.
That's Transylvania.
Yeah.
Never mind the fact that it's probably super cold.
And there's a strange number of ravens following us.
That's normal. That's every day.
8 successes.
Jesus Christ, where was that in the comments?
I know.
Hey,
Well, I mean, technically, I maxed out on that last strength roll. I just only have 2 strength.
That's fair.
I'm the brawler here.
This is what I specialize in.
Yeah, please tell me how you spend this, because I'm at a loss for how you do. But you know what? That it was an amazing roll, so they're gonna buy it.
So much.
Tell us the story of the piano man.
So I gotta weave in the fire. I gotta weave in that we think it's dead.
You think it's dead?
Yeah, I mean, as far as we saw, like, oh, it's wounded. It was crying out in pain, and then huge fire all around it.
Yeah, and of course, you're not
torch
going to tell the
vagina.
town. Yeah, you're not going to tell the town that it's maybe not dead.
I mean,
Or
yeah, even if I
yourselves.
knew that, I wouldn't say it.
Yeah, you're also not going to tell yourselves that this is definitely a moment to lie to yourself a little bit.
Oh yeah. So, A Tale of Bravery. I have to hype up at the very minimum the 4 of us. It was harrowing and dangerous, and I will mention that Jason was wounded, that the beast got a good swipe in, but they are recovering to the skilled hands of Cassian and their healing prowess.
I would maybe say that with your occult roll earlier, you would know that might make the town suspicious.
Oh, that he was, yeah.
Yeah.
That is a good point.
Over the table, werewolves don't work that way in this game, but the townsfolk don't know that. They don't know that.
Yeah.
The system.
The whatever they would have heard would have been, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he is a skilled mercenary, so
Yeah.
His armor protected him valiantly
my
in
God.
his shared accomplishments of defeating the beast. Although
Well, I mean, here's the thing, Jason. You don't have at least one of those shoulder pads anymore, so you got to explain that
get
somehow.
new armor.
let's get you plate armor next time. Maybe some chainmail.
I don't think that works very well with stealth.
It doesn't.
But I will mention that the fire was instrumental to hopefully put it in their heads of not just pitchforks, maybe also some flames if something similar comes around again.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you have the entire town's attention. As you come back in, I mean, they didn't expect to see any of you ever again. They saw 4 of you, well, 1 of you being chased, 3 of you chasing after a werewolf. They assumed that the 4 of you were going to get eaten and at least,
and I hold up my broken rapier and tell them, a hard-fought fight.
Yeah, and so the entire town is gathered at this point. There is not a single person who would not be here wanting to hear this tale. And as they are like cheering, because seemingly you've defeated this beast, you've saved those who didn't die. I think probably mayor of the town says that they want to celebrate you, and the local blacksmith offers to replace your rapier with an even better weapon.
I'll take it.
Yeah. And so they're just like showering you. I mean, they're not giving you all these gifts right now necessarily, but they're like telling you all the things they're going to give you.
I will say, to end on a downturn note, just as in general, anyone who has been widowed or orphaned is more than welcome to join us in the castle if they do not want to stay in the village, as they have lost loved ones.
Yeah. It's a thing that you would do out of the kindness of your heart.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, so kind.
Just comforting those poor widows.
Yes.
Amazing.
There's a halo there.
Mhm. Ignore the horns.
They can't see that it's black,
Yeah.
but it's there.
A raven just framing your head making horns.
Amazing. Yeah, so the rest of you, as you make your way back to the castle, what would you be doing? Other than bleeding.
Yeah.
Oh, I have medicine. Could that maybe help?
Your leather armor sure helped you there.
It just like went right through it, didn't it?
I'm just gonna like slap myself off with Dimitri and just like I'm just gonna lay here.
Don't forget who saved your ass. The shirtless wonder.
I love
That would be a thing if you didn't already be making fun of it for a while now.
I love the mental image of like the two of you half carrying Jason into the castle and then like kind of letting him go. He's, sort of supporting himself, and then just as you're like kind of teasing him about his armor, he just like slumps to the floor and lays face down.
Like, yeah, no, fuck this. I'm dealing with it. I'm just gonna lay here. I'm
Gotta
done
have
with
some
this.
floor time.
Floor time.
Floor time fixes everything,
It
including
really does.
serious things.
Of course it does. I'm just gonna go to sleep, and when I
Take a
wake
nap
up,
right
it's
here.
gonna be fully healed. All right.
You'll be fine. You're fine
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Everything's fine.
Good times. Yeah, so Antonio makes his way back eventually. Probably stays in town a little bit to continue telling the tale, because
Yeah.
people, of course, are going to want to hear it again. Hear all this, and I'm sure, especially with 8 successes, every time the tale goes from it was a hard-fought battle to like
It's a little longer, a little grander.
yeah. By the end of it, the 4 of you just like tore it limb from limb. Just absolutely handed it to it. Yeah, so eventually you do make it back, and so the rest of you would know that the town is incredibly thankful. Probably has, I would imagine, an armful of gifts with him as he arrives, and you can share whatever you want to share, Antonio, as far as what else you've been promised.
Oh, yeah. I mean, whatever I can carry back, and then a fixed weapon, a newer weapon. So if anyone has something specific they would like, maybe also mention to the blacksmith.
You think he can make me some gauntlets so I could punch harder?
Oh.
It's a possibility. I'm sure he's very talented.
Flaming gauntlet.
That's a little dangerous.
That'll backfire.
Yeah, literally.
All right. So what about ice gauntlets then?
I mean, these are humans.
I know.
That's fine.
Yeah,
Okay with
if-
iron.
if there was a mage, you don't want to meet them.
Ain't that the truth?
Just don't do it.
Yeah.
No,
No,
I
no
don't
mages,
like
please.
mage. I don't like
Yeah.
mage.
Mages.
Yeah. Just again, over the table, in one of the vampire games that I play in, we've encountered some mages potentially, and my sire said, no, just leave town. Just go. Don't even try to deal with them. Just go. So, fair warning. But,
I
yeah,
steer clear
Yeah.
of anybody with magic.
except for the kindred kind.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Absolutely fair. So, Jason, you're going to need to feed a lot.
I'm just gonna take like an hour to rest, and then go over to take a short trip over to the Hermannstadt.
I think probably.
I'm only
because of the
half
battle-
health. It's fine. I can go. Over
Oh
there.
no, you're fine. I was going to say because of that battle, I think you've probably taken most of the night, so you wouldn't necessarily have time, especially because these towns are a little bit away. You want to make some travel arrangements and not just
Oh, okay.
go on a whim.
Well, then I'm gonna slink off into the night and try to find some low level, some kind of ne'er do well, and feed.
Yeah, absolutely. So it does still take some time. Those aggravated wounds do not heal quickly. Valencia, were you going to say something?
Any widows show up yet? I did take a little damage, so
One. Yeah, one.
I'll show her to my room.
Yeah. She's quite beside herself.
Oh, honey, you'll be
She will
fine.
be.
Don't worry, you're in good hands. You're in the best hands.
What them hands do?
Yeah, those are the real weapons, the fingers.
Lots of things.
Just a fun aside. So I don't remember. I think it might be in this edition, but in one of the older editions, there's a clan that one of their abilities, I know because it's one of the kindred that I play, is they have a, I think it's a 12-inch long razor sharp snake tongue. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Totally fine.
Yeah.
At least it's not 19 inches.
Yeah.
You know, I could be wrong on the length. I would have to look again. I'm sure we could stretch it out. Make it but yeah, so anything that the rest of you would want to do over the next couple of days? Other than the widow and feeding.
I've got my
I
ankle.
would attempt to either find information or find people with information that I could possibly send a letter to, travel to, just to get more information on werewolves in general.
Yeah, I think the most logical starting place for you would be to contact your sire.
Yeah, then I will do that. One, to also let them know, like, hey, this happened. We handled it, but...
Yeah, handled.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say the same thing. I was gonna contact my sire as well.
Yeah.
And
And then,
Isabella would probably want to know too. And begrudgingly, I would contact Isabella.
Absolutely.
Give her my best.
Of course.
So I think that probably Isabella does not send anything back immediately. Antonio, I'm forgetting where I wrote my notes. Do you remember what your sire's name was?
I don't believe I wrote it on my sheet.
That's okay. I wrote it somewhere, but do I have it in front of me? No. It's fine.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I gotta put that somewhere.
Oh, wait, here we go. Here's my notes. I can read. I know what words are. Let's see. I didn't write your sire's name down. Damn it. The only one I didn't write.
I believe you said it, so I just gotta check the first episode.
Yeah, that's fair. Let me know so I can add that to my notes.
Yeah.
I wrote down the others. Jason, I think you would get a response before anyone, especially because your sire, who is also your mentor, your person who taught you to be all the things that you are, writes back quickly because you're a little bit of the secretive spy type, and I think that Aaron is as well, and so you get just a very short response that says, "See you soon."
Also, there is one extra thing in my note to Aaron than the other coterie members would do. I would also put in about the whole demon blood thing as well.
Okay.
I see you over there, Valencia. Don't give me those eyes. They don't work on me.
I don't believe that.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, you get the same response either way.
Okay.
Jason, you get the response from Aaron that says, "See you soon." And within a day, all of your sires, minus Demetrian, have arrived. So
Oh, joy.
Isabella would greet the pair of you, since she's somewhat taken on Demetrian. Not officially, of course. Different clans and so on. But she just says, "It's so good to see the two of you again. And I heard it was a werewolf. The Geru."
Yes.
Yeah, big hulking, smelly, gross, hairy thing. You
Out
know,
of its mind.
it was no trouble at all.
She kind of eyes Jason, who would still not be fully healed at this point because it does take a while.
Oh, him? He got so what happened with him was
I was
See, what had
distraction.
happened
he
was
just what happened was
I
is
was
that
the
he ran
distraction.
in and like his armor was a little too heavy for him.
Can you
So
stop?
it slowed him down. So he got, but that's
That is
fine
not at
because I
all
just
what
like
happened.
because I saved him. I ripped a hole in his neck and shoved a torch in there. Cassian helped a whole lot. I don't know what Antonio was doing.
he was trying his best, okay? Mourning the loss of his rapier.
I was too busy with the Nakusi.
Isabella just sort of comes over to you as you're telling this story, gets very close, walks sort of behind you, and as you're talking about, how you defeated this creature on the four of you, on your own, just walks in front of you, kind of lightly touches your chin, and says, "It's such a good job. I'm so proud of you."
Yeah, I couldn't let Cassian die, so I had to do something.
Well, of course not. And Cassian, I see you're still in one piece.
Yes, thanks to Demetrian.
She just smirks and doesn't say anything else. And just says, "Well, please show us to our rooms. We'll be staying."
Your room? Okay.
And as you are starting to take her and then the other sires to their rooms, you see that there are more kindred who enter. You see the prince, Radu, has arrived. And you see a familiar-looking face, the kindred who gave you this quest, so to speak, in the first place. The one who was speaking way back in Budapest, all of those months ago.
Oh boy.
Cassian's full panic mode now.
It's you.
Well, and this is as you all are like taking them up to their rooms. And so we'll start with Antonio and insert sire's name here. Antonio, your sire says, "I'd like to speak with you alone."
Of course. And I take him to where I last felt that no one is looking upon us.
I feel like you've set your room up pretty well so that you don't really have to worry.
Okay, then I would take him to my room in particular.
Okay. Once the two of you are alone, he says, "You four have done a very good job. You've made us all so proud. And there's just one thing that I need you to do. I need you to re-up our bond. It's been a while. I need you to drink of my blood. Help us reconnect a little bit."
Of course.
And as you do, You are then told that you are being offered a piece of land. In addition to this fortress, you are being offered a fiefdom. So you know that you were essentially assigned as like the stewards of this castle. You are here to help keep this pass safe, to further the goals of the person who gave you this task in the first place. It's not yours.
Yeah.
The fiefdom, though, is. You are able to stay here at any point in time as long as they are not here, because once they're here, this is their home. They get to take over. They get to lay down the rules.
Yeah.
When it's just the four of you, you're in charge. But you are offered the fiefdom of Balgrad, which is still within Transylvania. It's not. It's not the closest. It's one you would have probably passed. Excuse me, on your way from Budapest. So we'll say maybe a week away.
Okay.
And with that, he bids you good night. Jason.
Yes.
Aaron also requests a private audience with you.
Okay. I'll lead him to my room.
And first he says, Jason, it's been a while. I need you to drink of my blood. I need to increase our bond. It's feels like we've grown distant.
Okay.
And when you do, he tells you as well, you are being offered a fiefdom. You are not. You would know that you're a little bit still having to report to other people because he offers you to essentially rule over, with the prince being the only one above you, the fiefdom of Hermannstadt.
Ah.
So you would still have to report, answer to Marushka. You would not be the one who is in total control. There is a prince above you, but otherwise you do have a lot of control over the area.
What if I'm not the ruling type?
Well, you did take this task on to watch over the pass, as we said that you would. So I think that you'll make the best of it.
So this isn't so much of an offer as so much as a, hey, we're giving you this, you're gonna take it kind of thing.
Well, yes, you have to look after our interests in the area.
Okay. I just wanted to be clear about that.
And you mentioned something about demon blood. Don't listen to the villagers. They don't know what they're talking about.
That wasn't the villagers.
No, just Jason, hush.
Okay. Okay.
Nothing. And Demetrian, Isabella says, "Sweetheart, can I please have just a moment with you?"
With me?
Yes, alone.
Sure.
And entering into the quarters that she'll be staying in, she says, "I know I'm not officially your sire, which is all the more reason I think it's important for us to strengthen our bond."
Strengthen our bond.
Yes.
And how will we do that?
Well, I just need you to drink of my blood. Helps us to be a little bit closer. Helps me to make sure that I'm able to do what I need to do to protect you and Cassian. And I know you want to protect Cassian, so...
Does this mean you'll be keeping an eye on me?
Well, no more than I already have been. It doesn't really change anything. It just helps us to be a little bit more connected.
Do I get to choose where I can take it from?
No. But she does chuckle. She does chuckle at that.
Made you smile. Fine.
And she tells you, kneel.
Oh, we're doing that now.
She doesn't answer, but you can see in her eyes that that's what we're doing.
Usually I'm the one that tells people to kneel, but okay.
And she smirks, and as you drink of her blood, you do feel a little bit more connected to her. And she tells you that you're also being offered a fiefdom. At this point, none of you knows that the other is being offered these things. You are being offered the fiefdom of Schasberg. So it is somewhat close. It's closer than where Antonio was given, but it's not as close as some of the others.
Okay. And will I be doing this alone, or am I bringing on Cassian? Since they're also yours.
Cassian has other responsibilities. But all of you are close enough that you'll all be in touch, I'm sure.
Have you met Cassian? Responsibilities?
Yes, well, they have to learn at some point. Forever is a long time.
Forever is a long time. Okay.
And she says, now run along. Send in Cassian.
Okay.
Cassian.
Mm-hmm.
Demetrian lets you know that your sire now wants to speak with you.
Head in. I'm done.
Do I have to? Do I really have to?
Sweetie, of course you do. You're the only one beholden at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So, go on in.
All right.
No, she's not going to bite. You will, though.
Okay.
And as you two are sort of chatting a little bit, you can feel the tension starting to grow from within the room. And you hear, child, don't keep me waiting.
You see Cassian just perk straight up and rigidly walk in.
Off you go.
And seeing you walk in so stiffly and nervously, she says, Cassian, really? After all this time, just relax. I don't know why you're so nervous.
Maybe I liked my freedom a little.
Well, who says you don't have freedom? You're free to go wherever you want.
So you say?
Oh, who is stopping you?
You.
No, of course not. Why would I stop you?
Because you know my true name.
Oh, my dear, we don't need to talk about that. I wouldn't want to hold that over you.
Okay.
No, I want nothing but the best for you. I want you to feel safe and free to explore your own interests. Sometimes I just give a little bit of guidance because you can't spend all of your time with birds.
I can try.
Yes, you certainly do try. Now, I wanted to talk to you. It has been some time. The four of you have been up here, and I feel like our bond is not what it used to be. And I would like to strengthen that. I need you to drink of my blood. And Cassian, you would definitely know this is something that you would have done before.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, when you were first embraced, but probably something that you have done at least a few other times.
Okay. Of course, Isabella.
And as you do, she says, now I know that you feel like you are not free to do as you wish. So I tell you this not to make you feel tied down in any way, but I would like you to look over Kronstadt. You can do whatever you want in those lands. There's no one there for you to worry about, no one for you to report to. You will be the lord of the land.
Me be a lord of the land.
Well, they've been doing fine on their own. They just could use a little bit of watchful eye, so to speak.
Okay. I suppose I could.
Very good. I'm so glad that you didn't give us any trouble, because this really means a lot. This helps us to move up in the world.
What if I gave you trouble?
And her eyes narrow. She says, no, Cassian, you wouldn't joke about a thing like that. You know what would happen if you were to do that. The consequences.
Yes.
Good. Don't anger me.
Of course, Isabella.
Now, we'll talk tomorrow. And she just gestures you out.
I abruptly bolt out of the room.
And there is still a little bit of time in the evening. But you all would know the person who gave you this task to begin with is the one who had said when they are in the castle, they are the lord of the manor. They are the ones in charge. So they did not need any accompaniment because this is their territory. This is their property. They're nowhere to be seen as you all exit from your respective sire's rooms, or pseudo-sire. But now that you all have had this this little bit of a interesting development, what would the four would you be doing? Other than having a panic attack, Cassian.
Land. I definitely forgot to write notes this time.
Antonio would start packing belongings and trying to decide if he wants to take any person in particular with him.
Okay. Antonio's taking that blacksmith for sure.
Oh, yeah. Not leaving before I see that person.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my lovely widows.
Well, I mean, they're widowed. They don't have any reason to stay here.
It's true.
It's true.
Plus, who knows how many widows you'll find where you're going.
There's possibilities, but I've grown attached, at the Fang.
As one does. What about Jason and Cassian?
Honestly, the same as Antonio. Just start packing up what little I have here, and just I guess get ready for travel.
Would any of you tell the others?
Oh yes.
Excuse me. Yeah, because I mean, at this point, you haven't reconvened, so no one has said, "Hey, I have a fiefdom."
Yeah.
I would tell Demetrian first.
So you've got a place too, huh?
Yes. I don't know if I feel good about this.
Yeah. I mean, I knew you would get your own place. Isabella told me, but it just, after all we've been through, we built this with our own workers' bare hands.
You built this city.
Promise them shinies.
We have to go our separate ways and rule over a fiefdom.
I don't even think I wouldn't be good at that.
At least we have a few dozen little advisors that fly in and out every so often.
I guess. It just turns into anarchy. Pirate fiefdom!
I will say, probably Cassian, since Isabella is not a prince, but you being a little bit more of I guess a homebody, staying kind of like in the rookery, you've probably spent a lot of time around castles, and you would know that even princes or regents, they don't stay in the same place all the time. They rule, but they don't have to be tied to one place. They have their summer homes, they have their vacation homes, they have their places to go whoring, as one does. It's good to be the king.
It's good to be king.
I guess we'll get to travel.
Yeah, that's true. But I've traveled. I've traveled a lot. How do you think I got here in the first place?
I came from the sea, so...
So, the sea?
Yes.
That deep Cassian lore is finally coming out.
Hold up. You never said this before.
Nobody ever asked.
Hey, Cassian, did you happen to, be on ships sailing the sea? Is that a question that people ask?
Maybe?
So what was the sea like?
It was fun. While it lasted.
Fun, huh? At least your traveling was fun. My traveling was necessary. I had to get out of the city and make my own way. I had to go somewhere where nobody knew who I was and start anew. Hopefully,
I kind of understood.
you kind of what? Understand? Yeah. Okay.
I was more ripped from that life against my will.
Where would the two of you go to have this conversation? It's your castle, or other than the
Just walking corridors.
Yeah, just walking along.
Maybe even outside.
Yeah.
Along
Like a moonlit walk.
Yeah.
A moonlit walk.
A nice view. Yeah. What about Antonio? I know you said you were packing, but would you have gone to talk to the others?
I would make sure I had my best clothes first and a short list of people I would want to take with me, and then work up to asking the real resident if that is something that is okay to do, since they are of this land and technically the castle now.
So they do not answer their door whenever you go to try and speak with them.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that they're probably not willing to talk tonight. You would know that at least the sires, and probably your patron as well, have traveled a decent ways. I mean, it was a long journey from Budapest to here, and your sires don't live in Budapest. They may even sometimes live further than that. So likely they're just tired from the travels and would rather not.
Yeah. If
Someone
not
go
tonight, at least, I would still be refining the list of particular people that I might want, if I take anybody at all.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I, of course, would ask at an appropriate time.
Yeah, of course. So after you've done that, would you go find the rest of the coterie?
I would. I would seek out and just let them know what happened.
Yeah. And really, being out, on the castle walls is one of the places where you can get the most privacy. Obviously, the crypt as well, because I would imagine none of you has told anyone. It's kind of a shared secret, I would guess. I would hope.
Kind of. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah.
I would hope.
I mean, you don't want to tell everybody about it because even though Antonio took those tablets, there's a chance that maybe he missed something. Maybe the rest of you missed something, and you don't want peasants finding out some secret information. Finding out your secrets, even potentially, would not be in your best interest. That's for sure.
Yes.
And Jason, once you're all packed and ready to go, would you seek out the others as well?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So the coterie reconvenes atop the castle.
Okay.
Very nice moonlit night. You do hear the howling of wolves in the distance, but that's not unusual. It's Transylvania. Just wolves.
Not
Yeah.
a little more powerful than usual.
It's hard to tell.
Does any particular wolf sound familiar?
One sounds a little crispy. No.
Crispy.
They're crackling in their voice.
One has a smoker's cough.
Oh, that's amazing.
I just hear like a
Yeah. Howl. Just cough. Amazing. Yeah, so now that you all, I would imagine, have shared that you're all going off sort of your separate ways, but you all know that you're close enough. Some of you could more easily visit than others, but you can all come back here at any point. And it's not like, sure, there were no cell phones, but one of you has very, very handy ravens, for sure. And it's not like you could send a messenger. Yeah. So it's not like you all can't write to each other.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Ye old pen pals.
And as you said, no one's tied to wherever they're ruling, so there could be sleepovers.
Yeah, of course. Gotta have a party every once in a while.
Mhm.
I mean, you have this big castle, so why would you not?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Antonio, we have established, have the best perception.
True.
And now that we have confirmed that you have night vision as well, or dark vision, because it's even pitch black, you remember the warning you received. And
About the gargoyles?
and you're pretty sure you'd see one of them turned its head towards you, and you see that it just quickly turns back to face ahead.
Uh-uh.
Yeah.
No.
Well,
Well, this conversation is very productive. I feel that there's something else I must tell you, but not here.
I was gonna say, I have pretty good perception and awareness as well.
I mean, I know that Antonio's is an 8 dice pool. I don't remember what Jason's is.
Let me double check real quick. It'd be wits and awareness, right?
Yep.
Okay, not that high, but
5.
My wit.
4 in total.
Oh, yeah, no, it pales in comparison. I mean, it is still way better than the average human, but Antonio's like, I can hear that fly half a mile
I
away.
heard a bit of rubble fall off its shoulder when it turned its head.
So, telling them that you don't want to have this conversation here, where would you lead the rest of the coterie?
I mean, as far away from the roof as possible, but also to another place I feel comfortable, but not the room, because then it seems conspiratory. If
The
noticed.
crypt, you mean?
Oh, I mean, not my room, but yes,
Oh,
the tomb, the catacombs, the tomb, the crypt underneath. Yeah, I don't think there's gargoyles down there, so that's where I would like to reconvene.
Yeah, not the last time you were down there, that's for sure.
Yeah, because I'm assuming like that gargoyle part I heard right near or soon, if not that night, this night, or the night with the werewolf. So I don't know if I would have had time or forethought to mention that.
I mean, I think because it was a little while between last session and this session, that you probably heard it long enough ago that you've, I would imagine, been keeping an eye out, but you hadn't seen or heard anything.
Yeah.
And we've already sort of established that Antonio doesn't always reveal his cards. So
I think he would have tried to confirm first.
Right.
Like, do they look off? Do they look like they've moved? Or changed positions or anything, and then now, as we're talking, he has his confirmation, but also doesn't want to say that within possible earshot of this thing that's maybe moving that shouldn't be.
Right. Yeah. So as you all make your way down to the crypt, I would imagine no one would be opposed to that.
Nope.
Yeah.
Not.
all right, sure, why not? I mean, it's a long ways away, but whatever. Can we jump?
Let us continue this nightly stroll.
Maybe my ravens can catch us if we decide to jump.
All 4 of you. Yeah. So you make your way down to the crypt.
Yes. When we get there, I will let them know of what I was warned about, and that I just now saw one of them actually move.
That's not good.
And did
They
not want to
move
speak
now?
near them.
Since when did they
Apparently.
move?
Apparently, they moved before enough to be warned about it.
I was gonna say, have I heard anything about that?
I have a high intelligence in the cult.
Yeah, I was going to say, give me intelligence and occult.
Who's my worst stat?
I was saying my worst attribute is charisma, so that explains a lot.
Yeah. By the end of this chronicle, Cassian's going to be the brains of the group. Just dump every point of XP.
On
They learn
computer.
to read, and then they get
Exactly.
really smart. Just loving these comments in the chat.
Great.
Why do
Anybody
you do this to me, computer? I'm having to reload Demi plane.
Yeah, we don't need nice things. It's fine.
Yeah.
Although
Intelligence and
Demiplane is still so much easier than most other ways.
honestly, 100%, I blame my computer.
That's fair. I also blame your computer.
Well, it was old when I got it about 4 years ago. So
Yeah, it's ancient at this point.
Oh, I shouldn't say how old mine is then.
So how was that roll?
getting to it, the computer is still slow. I just hit the roll button. I got 2 successes.
I think you would have heard rumors of gargoyles being some kind of spy. There's no basis to it that you're aware of. You might be aware that possibly someone with some magical ability, which I don't think you would have met anyone like that, or at least no one who could prove their magical ability. Might be able to bring them to life, but you've never seen anything like that. You've never heard anything confirmed, just rumors.
Okay. So what are we gonna do?
Just be aware. Just be careful of what you say around them.
Can we smash them?
In what way are you asking?
Yes.
You know.
I hear the heart is a rock.
Fair. I mean, in the destruction sense, you perv.
I'm the perv when you were asking about widows.
Okay, but those are not inanimate objects.
Clearly,
know
neither are the gargoyles.
It's true. I know gargoyles are horny, but damn.
And they're always hard for you.
Rock hard. Which I believe Chad already said, but you know what? I'm going to say it again. It needed saying.
I have instigated that.
I mean, they're technically made out of stone, right?
Yeah, I mean, can I like push them down so they could like crash?
Well, I mean, how easy can you push down a bear?
Wait.
I'm gonna say it's gonna be hard.
Do the gargoyles have
I
wings?
literally held a wound open that was actively healing.
Okay, but that was
I think I'm pretty strong.
natural. Yes, but now imagine if you were trying to fit hand in hand, hold back that said werewolf.
I think I could take them.
Do the gargoyles
love
have
the
wings?
confidence.
Yes.
Okay. Well, they can fly, so pushing them off wouldn't work.
That too.
Well, then we would know that they're alive, right?
True.
Are you saying we gotta go around the property knocking over all the gargoyles?
Yeah, if they really want to be spies, they won't move.
Who are they spying for?
We could break a few, right? And then make them talk.
Yeah, I mean, that is definitely an option.
Get me a flail. Get me a morning star. Get me a warhammer.
Those are all
We do have the blacksmith now.
that'll
You have a
take too long.
If not
You have a
available,
castle. I'm sure
think
you
we
have
can make
a
it.
memory.
Just get me something. I can make it talk. I just want to talk to it. I just
Do you
want
think
to
I
talk
could
to it.
talk to it? Does it count as a creature?
Listen,
I don't know
I
what it
cannot,
counts
I cannot
as.
tell you that. You're going to have to find out for yourself.
It counts as something that's watching us. And I don't like being watched unless it's
Maybe I can-
Isabella.
Maybe I can talk to it.
What about the husbands? What aren't you okay with the husbands watching?
No, they can't watch.
Damn, that was a firm no.
No husbands
cucks
allowed.
No cucks allowed.
No.
So, Cassian, to respond to your question, though, You first have to fuck around.
I know.
Or you
I'll
can then
fuck
find
around
out.
and find out. I'm good at fucking around. and
This
finding
chart indicates the more you fuck around, the more you find out.
out. Let's get fucking. Sorry.
Anytime.
So, are you going up to try and find out if this little experiment is legit, or are you going to give it some time?
Should I? We should be prepared before I do something stupid.
Which one do you think you saw move, Antonio?
I would point out whichever one that looked like it moved.
Yeah,
Also, question: how many gargoyles did we have put up into the mansion when we were having it built?
Did we put up any gargoyles?
That's my question.
You know who didn't read the plans? All y'all.
I mean,
Who
I
reads
wanted
the
to know
plan?
my territory. I told you I was doing a deep dive in my territory. The council's taking a look at my territory, right?
To be fair, Zelios probably would not have shared the plans readily.
Fair.
Of course.
That lanky, angular bastard.
Yep.
And you know who you haven't seen in a month or 3? Well, not 3.
Zelios.
Month or 2.
The dude that was digging the hole for the cellar.
Yes. You have not seen
And
Anatole
Lucida.
or Lucida. Yeah. But you've also not seen Zelios in a little while.
Oh boy.
Yeah, what happened to them?
They're gargoyles.
My spying didn't
Or
help.
the gargoyle masters. Gargoyles masters.
So the gargoyles got them.
Again, give me something blunt so that I could smash.
So, how high up is the one that Antonio saw move?
You guys were on the roof, for lack of a better term. I can't remember what the walkway is around a castle, but pretty high, especially because, as was previously discussed, you are fairly far up the mountain. So not only is there the entire distance of the castle, but then the rest of the mountain for them to potentially fall down. Potentially.
Is
Cassian
it still
will also
there?
grab-
Is what?
The one that Antonio saw.
Well, are you guys going up there? No one has.
No, I just
I'm
want to
still
step
grabbing.
outside.
I'm grabbing a blunt weapon first. For
Yeah.
smashing.
Yeah, and like I was saying, I mean, you guys live in a castle. I'm sure you have an armory at this point.
Yeah, let's all get something heavy.
Yeah.
And go back and check.
Mhm.
All right, let's
I
do the
mean-
thing.
And then I'll try to talk to
Jason, what were you saying?
I was just gonna go see if it's even still there before we do anything.
So
Just
Jason,
act like I'm enjoying the stars. Like I'm enjoying the night sky.
meanwhile, the rest of the coterie has blunt weapons hidden behind their back.
No, like as you're going off to do that, like grab
Yeah.
those. I'm gonna
Yeah.
actually look to see if it's still there.
Yes, it is still there.
Okay. I'm just gonna keep an eye on it out over here. Because it would suck if we all went inside, we came back out, and it was gone.
Just want to talk to it.
just words.
Hear
you
me
know.
out. Hear me out.
Just words, and on the end of these hammers, just talk to it.
Yeah.
Alright.
So the rest of you grab your blunt weapons of various types, and make your way up. Jason, you haven't seen them move at all. None of them that you can see have moved.
I'm just gonna slowly make my way as high as I can while outside.
Okay.
Without being suspicious.
There are still more gargoyles. Even like the tallest tower, there is a gargoyle.
Say it one more time, sorry?
Even on the tallest tower, there's still a gargoyle.
Oh, so we're surrounded.
I mean, it's Dark Ages castle.
I was gonna say, I just
Yeah.
want to let you know, my mother, who's a Whovian, decided to show me the Weeping Angels episode first. So I have trauma related to gargoyles and moving statues.
To be fair,
Not
these
bad,
are
not bad trauma. Just
Yeah.
that's
trauma.
fun.
Yeah. So now that all of you are up atop the castle, what's the plan?
I get close to the one I saw move, and I try to speak to it, and I tell it, if you can understand me, and if you can reply, do so now, or you will be rubble.
No movement.
All right, step aside. Let's go.
Wait. What if I use my talking skills? My special talking skills.
Cassian, do you
Please.
think it's a creature that you can talk to?
Please,
Like a
please
bird.
specify which special talking skill, like your animalism.
Yes, my animalism.
You can certainly try.
So that means no.
I mean, you can try. I'm not telling you no because Cassian would not know.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. Okay, so it's a rouse check.
Gotta get aroused.
Yep.
Such a casual yep.
Persuade. So I'm persuading the animal. So it's manipulation and animalism roll.
Go for it.
So 2 and manipulation, which I think I'm okay at. Manipulation. Where is manipulation?
Right underneath charisma.
Oh yeah. Okay, there we go. I somehow managed to miss that the first
it's okay.
time. And animalism. We need to get rid of that. That's not what I want. Manipulation and animalism. I think it's in a special spot. Yes! I love it. Where did it go? I'm so sorry.
How dare
Me going through lists.
monster. You monster.
Disciplines, that's what it should be under. There we go. Aha. I found it. 1.
Okay. You try speaking different animal languages that you've picked up, which is mostly Raven, but also Valencia, I love the prop.
Thank you.
And it does not respond in any way or move.
I guess just smash it. Oh! Wait. Could I tell a bird to shit on it?
You can see that there is bird shit on it, and it does not seem to be affected.
Okay. Never mind then.
Becky, let me smash.
Yes. Go for it.
All
I
right,
have
so
mine ready too.
I rear back and I hit one of its wings, so it can't fly if it's gonna fly.
Yeah. You swing, and it breaks your cudgel.
Yeah, no,
But you
that's not
also-
a normal gargoyle.
But you also see it bleeds.
Oh.
And
you
with
bite it?
that, all of the gargoyles spread their wings and take off into the night.
Told you we were surrounded.
Well, at least they're gone
Are they?
for now.
We just
Did we just piss them off?
enacted violence upon them.
Aren't gargoyles supposed to be protectors?
Depending on who makes them and who they're trying to protect.
Listen, all of you had a chance to say no to me,
Why would
All of you.
Would it
All of you.
would it have worked?
Yes.
Would it?
Maybe. You could have also held me back.
Would that
I
have
don't think
worked?
that would have worked.
I physically am an 18-year-old child. I would not have been able to hold you back.
In their defense,
weak.
Demetrian was left alone.
Were they?
Basically,
Hmm.
they were unsupervised.
I was abandoned as a child. Well, orphaned. And then abandoned by everything. So, yeah.
I feel that.
Good times. All right. Yeah, so I think that's a good place for us to end. That lovely, not concerning at all note.
Totally.
Werewolves,
like
werewolves, and gargoyles.
So who's gonna put? Who are we betting is gonna be here tomorrow or next time?
Well, you still have to deal with your patron and the prince.
Oh, yeah, that's gonna be fun. How are we gonna explain this to them?
See, what happened was.
What happened was Demetrian wanted to smash, and we misunderstood what they meant when they said that.
Yeah. I mean, I want to smash all the time. Sometimes it's different. And
you understand why there's misunderstanding.
And Isabella didn't want to smash. So I had to do it a different way.
To be fair, you didn't ask.
Listen, I couldn't. She has the power in that relationship. She's the one that has to be like, let's do the thing.
Oh, so you're just a switch. Is that what you're saying, Demetrian?
When it comes to Isabella, I'm the power bottom.
So I just heard a yes.
Only for her. Everybody else. Everybody else.
Amazing. All right. Well, we are going to read out, I think my friends are still on, maybe, possibly. They were just on, but now it's not popping up. But either way, thank you all so much for playing. Thank you all for coming and watching. I appreciate all the support in the chat and all of the wonderful distractions. Anybody have anything that they want to plug last minute while I'm looking?
My book is still available to purchase anywhere you buy books, but especially on the evil thing that is Amazon. And I say that because I am currently writing my second book, the sequel to the first. So that'll probably be out maybe by the end of the year.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. Anybody else?
Just my usual Twitch channel, just the video games, realm traveling that I normally do.
Oh, yeah. And speaking of Twitch, you know who said that they were going to start streaming and then did? Our friend Chad in the other direction. Whatever direction. I know. People
Yes.
Chad.
Yes.
Yeah.
True.
So go check out his channel. All the links are in the chat and they'll be in the description later. And yeah, players, if you want to stick around while we raid out, just to chat afterwards for a little bit, we'll see you all next time.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.